So you want to make a website for your private practice, but you're feeling a little overwhelmed with options. I understand. It could be pretty confusing. Tons of different options there. So let me kind of narrow it down to my top ones and explain why I like them. So basically, my two top ones are SquareSpace or WordPress, and they're good for different reasons. Let's start with SquareSpace. If you want to create a website for yourself, I definitely recommend Squarespace. They do a lot of stuff for you, and they make it really easy. You don't have to worry about maintenance. You don't have to worry about the hosting. They take care of all that for you. You can even register your domain straight through Squarespace. All of it's in one place. Very, very nice. It also has what's called a graphical user interface, or GUI, which means you don't have to write code. You just kind of drag and drop things kind of where you want them. The whole system's based on blocks, and you can put like text blocks or picture blocks, that sort of thing, wherever you want. It's very nice. If you're thinking about building your own site, I recommend Squarespace because it's so easy, but it also still ends up with a very professional looking website. And they do some good work for what we call SEO, or search engine optimization. Your site's going to be great out of the box. It's going to look good. It's going to perform well. It's going to be what we call responsive, meaning it's going to look good on big screens like a desktop monitor or small screens like a phone. That's actually really important because 50% of website views these days are on a phone. So it takes care of all that for you. Looks good doing it. You don't have to worry about it. We can build you a Squarespace site if you like. That's kind of our middle tier, is for us to build Squarespace sites. The other thing that we do is we have a online video course now where we can walk you through building a Squarespace site for your private practice. I'll put the links for both those things down below. Take a look if that seems interesting to you. But Squarespace is definitely a nice way to go, and I recommend it over a lot of other services. The other way you can go is WordPress. So WordPress is probably not the best approach if you're building the website for yourself, because there's just a few more things to worry about, right? With WordPress, you'll need to worry about your hosting. You'll need to register your domain somewhere else. You'll need to make sure that what we call the WordPress core and then all the plugins are all up to date all the time. Otherwise, you could be introducing security vulnerabilities and then bad news. You don't want that. So we build websites with WordPress, and if you want kind of the best site, then WordPress is the way to go. Now, don't get me wrong, Squarespace is a fantastic site, and for, the average private practice, it is way more than enough and absolutely beautiful. But WordPress is going to be just a little bit better, because it has more options and better search engine optimization. WordPress is huge. It's ubiquitous. It powers literally like 1/3 of all websites on the internet, right? So because it's that big, there's a ton of support for it. Meaning, if there's anything you want to do, like have scheduling for your clients, it's really easy to integrate that sort of thing into a WordPress site. So again, better SEO. We like it when we're building sites for clients because we end up having more control. WordPress is more sort of built for people that do know how to write the code. And with that in mind, we can do anything we want with a WordPress site. So that's great for us. But again, not really ideal if you're trying to build a site for yourself. So there's definitely other tools out there, other site builders, but just in general, my personal opinion is that like Squarespace ends up with a better, more professional, more polished product at the end. Also, there's other services out there where you might pay like a monthly fee for your website. And I guess, what's nice about those is like the upfront cost is kind of low, but you're building a business here. You're not building something to walk away from in a month, right? You're building something that you want to be around for years. So I really like with those things, I encourage you to think about how much money are you going to be spending over like 5 years or down the road versus just right now. The building a Squarespace site ends up being a whole lot cheaper than those other things over time, even with paying for our course. So check that out. But yeah, so we like Squarespace and WordPress. They both have their own pros and cons. We work both with them for building client sites. And those are our favorite. Again, WordPress, a little bit more complicated. Squarespace, nice and easy to work with. If you're looking to do something on your own, definitely recommend SquareSpace.